Rise and love, fam. It is xinyourface.com. I don't know what I was doing with my hand. I think I was about to do one of these. Why am I always fucking up? Okay. xinyourface.com. So spell it out. Let me spell it one more time. xinyaface.com. You spell the whole thing out. Rise and love, family. It is xinyourface.com. Back at it again with some more random thoughts from my brain. I am, if you can see, if you're watching the video right now, you can see that I'm doing a different recording style, but from the same spot, from my same like desk setup. But instead of me filming from the desk setup with the camera, right, that's mounted right here on the top of the main monitor, I decided to try to flip it around. One, to show off a little bit of my, desk setup, not doing a desk setup video or anything like that. Hopefully y'all don't see this mess that's over here to my right, but if you do, whatever. But just to give like a different angle, different perspective of things, and to also use like the natural light from the window. Lighting is a motherfucker. Just in terms of, I was gonna say mother effer, and I'm like, no, bro. The whole reason I was wanting to record right now is because I'm like, bro, and trying to figure out my voice and do all this sort of shit. I'm like, bro, I censor myself way too much, and I'm not a potty mouth where I'm cursing every other word, every other sentence, or anything like that. But I definitely feel like I reach too far. I'm trying to like reach for respectability too much, even though this is a form of expression, and I can express myself and still be a qualified individual, still be a very intelligent individual, and still use curse words. You dig what I'm saying? So anyway, but I wanted to flip it around to give a different perspective and use the natural light. And when I say lighting is a motherfucker, I mean, like I got the mounted ring light back here behind me that usually works to illuminate my face. And if I had a key light in here right now, or if I had is it called a key light? The one that's on your face? Anyway, if I had a light on my face right now that was in addition to the natural light from the window, you could probably see the glare on the screen behind me a little bit. But if I had another light source, obviously with the kind of reflective surface of the monitors and the glass that's on the side of my computer, there would be, like glares and stuff like that. And so it's always just a challenge to try to navigate those different things. But anyway, I say all that to say, I just wanted to take the opportunity to record something. It's been a minute since I recorded something. I am still in the space of having a backlog. I was watching some of the videos that I've recorded in the last few weeks, and I'm like, oh damn, I do still have stuff that I could be editing or need to be editing so that I can post. And I'm trying to like figure out meticulously where stuff needs to go. And man, oh man, I need to really just release stuff. I need to just put it out. Especially when it's stuff like this, where it's kind of more of a vlog. This is like an update. I don't need a full script. I don't need to do a full post on my website that has like a corresponding, page on it or something like that. And so, yeah, I'm still navigating some of the stuff, still figuring things out, right? Which is fine. But I went to this cool workshop a couple days ago, and it was all about marketing. And I wanted to learn about, ways that I can improve my marketing and figure out how to just improve what it is I'm doing, how to better get my name out there, my voice out there, what I have to say out there, my, what I'm bringing to the table out there. Yeah, and so it was a cool marketing session. I definitely want to follow up with the person who was leading it. But one of the topics that came up during the session was about what was the prompt? It was there a time where you felt like you were representing yourself inauthentically? And the two responses that I put, one of them was about like this whole deal behind xinyourface.com kind of requires me to be in your face somehow, some way, right? Whether it be in this format, right? I'm just on a video screen and you're watching my video somewhere or listening to me somewhere, or I'm present out with people, right? It could either be me to the screen, to the camera, right, talking directly to you, or me talking to someone else, or being out in public, being with people. And I've talked about it before, about social anxiety, about things changing very drastically for me between COVID and trying to bounce back from that. And so at the time that I was starting this whole journey, right, and getting back to a space where I feel like I could entertain, I could connect with people, I could create, I was definitely feeling like, okay, I need to figure out how I can reconnect with community, reconnect with people. How do I get out there and have a conversation? Now, when it comes down to me actually doing it, when I feel comfortable enough to show up and I'm in a space with, just decent people, right? So a couple of days ago, the workshop, I was fine. I felt good, right? It helped that it was a room full of Black people, and that I felt super comfortable just being in a space where I was like, my people, you dig what I'm saying? But one of the ways I felt like I was representing myself inauthentically was the fact that I still hadn't, and I still don't feel like I have figured out that connection to people, right? xinyourface.com, in terms of like, let me show up and let me be here with my microphone. I got my stuff. I'll bring my bag with me when I go to workshops. I'll bring my bag with me when I go to events, so that I can be ready. And when sometimes there's an opportunity for me to go for it, right? For me to pull out my stuff and engage with people, and I falter sometimes, right? I hesitate, or I decide not to, and that's fine, bro. I'm still figuring it out, right? Like I said at the top, still figuring it out. So that was one space, or one piece. And then the other response that I wrote down to my prompt was trying to match the trends and match what I was seeing from other like content creators, other consultants, other life coaches, things of that sort. I was trying to make it so that my voice sounded a certain way. I was trying to appeal to like this wide audience of people and all that sort of stuff. And so I was kind of censoring myself. I remember censoring and it's hard, especially when you're not like scripting something. You don't necessarily have notes. So I remember early on, I didn't necessarily have like a lot of notes, or wasn't scripting, or wasn't writing down, oh, this is what I'm gonna talk about. I would just kind of be motivated to talk about something, but I'm off the cuff talking about something and censoring myself at the same time, like trying to figure out what details not to put in there, what to say or what not to say, try not to use bad words and stuff like that. And I think my voice at the beginning sounded kind of weird. Like I would listen back to some of the stuff and I'm sitting there listening to it and I'm like, is that what I sound like? Like that's not, knowing that's actually not what I sound like, right? Like my authentic self, my real voice, like when I'm talking to somebody, you dig what I'm saying? And so there are videos, and there's videos from like beyond, right? Like not just at the beginning, there was other times where I felt like I had to show up a certain way. And I'm not gonna put myself on black. You know what? Fine. I'll admit. I remember when I did the Wilsonville Juneteenth event, and I was going around interviewing people. I was trying to do this like very proper. My we're gonna call it. I was code switching, and I used my professional voice. You dig what I'm saying? And so as I was communicating with that person, you could hear me on the audio track and speak in a different way that doesn't feel like, that feels different than how I'm speaking right now. And shout out to the dude. I cannot remember. I need to find his channel. I'm pretty sure I subscribed as soon as I saw the video. But the dude, there's a guy who is a content creator, and I found his video by happenstance, and it was just talking about stop trying to read off of a script. Like if you need to get into the practice of warming up, like warm up before you start talking about what it is you're talking about. Know what it is you're going to talk about, but let it flow freely. You sound too practiced, too polished, too awkward, too weird, too blocky, right? Unnatural. That's pretty much what he was saying, is that who you are ends up being hidden behind these layers of trying to like pretend or play nice or be polished or be perfect or whatever. And so between that video, which hopefully I find it so I can link it, here and get that person a real shout out that they need, and the workshop that I went to a couple days ago, I'm like, man, you know what? I don't necessarily want to interrogate the voice that I've had while I'm going back and I'm critiquing and I'm like, seeing where there's pain points and stuff that I've already done. But I just want to practice being more me, because that's the biggest asset that I have, right? The me that I am when I'm showing up to give you motivation, to give you inspiration, to show you that you can do it, to understand more about who you are, right? To encourage you, to share what I got going on in my life and my story, and hopefully share something that might be of benefit, of use, right? Or even to entertain, right? If I'm showing up and I'm trying to give you joy, give you something to smile about, give you something to uplift yourself or your day, I want it to be authentic. I don't want it to be this thing that doesn't feel like me. You dig what I'm saying? So so I really did appreciate having those activities, like having those conversations with the folks. I got my sheets over here from the workshop, and I plan on filling out my sheets, doing my notes, put in my computer. I was already working on some of that stuff this morning, but continuing to work on that stuff and then following up with the amazing folks who were putting on that workshop. So that's the little bit that I got for you all today. If this ends up being relegated to not necessarily the burn pile, but something that doesn't get posted, or if it gets posted somewhere different, like, not on the main feed or something like that. Either way, I just appreciate having space to be able to express myself. So if you do happen to be tuning into this, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your time so much. I hope you were able to pull something from it, to take something from it that can help you. If you did, let me know in the comments, right? I need the engagement. Check in with me. Let me know, what you appreciated, right? Something that I said that actually resonated with you, or an experience that you might have that you want to share with me, right? So thank you again for tuning in. Without further ado, I'm gonna let you go. So, sa. Peace.